Hi guys, my name is Chris and you're watching Wrestling Today, so let's start with WWE has a ton of talent in NXT, and this week's episode of Raw saw them show off 3 of the best stars the Performance Center has to offer. Fans should expect a lot more from the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile as well. The Creed brothers and Ivy Nile made their first appearances on the longest-running weekly episodic television show in history, and fans were thoroughly impressed. Although it was first reported that this week's episode would be the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile's main roster call-up, there was some question about that. Now, we can clear up any misconceptions. Ringside News has confirmed with a tenured member of the WWE creative team that the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile have been called up to the main roster. This week's episode of Raw marked their first match after leaving NXT. It is unknown whether the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile have inked new main roster deals yet. Sometimes, talent will be on the main roster for a bit of time until they sign new deals. This is the reason why Aleister Black was able to make his way to AEW so soon to become Malachi Black, because WWE didn't change the non-compete clause on his contract from his NXT deal. There is no risk of the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile going anywhere, except for up in WWE. Julius and Brutus Creed picked up a huge win in their first outing on WWE Raw as they beat the Alpha Academy. They are on the main roster now, but the big question is which brand they will land on. Wade Barrett said during commentary on WWE Raw that both main roster brands are likely getting contracts ready for the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile. That being said, their brand destination may be unknown, but they are going to start making their mark on the main roster now. As with any talent in WWE, the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile can always go to NXT for a match. After all, the company is treating their Tuesday night show as a bona fide third brand at this point. What's your take on WWE calling up the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile? Were they ready for the main roster a long time ago? The next story is about WWE's NXT brand took a big hit when Nikita Lyons went out of action with an injury. She's been on the sidelines for the majority of 2023, and some fans are wondering when that will change for her. Nikita Lyons injured her knee in January, and she was forced to have MCL surgery. That stopped her momentum in a big way, and it started her road to recovery. After that, Nikita Lyons showed up on WWE NXT on crutches, but she also promised that she will make a return. A lot of things have changed since then, and Nikita Lyons is still working toward her return. Nikita Lyons announced in September that her comeback is on the way, and she did so with twerking video. She has also commented on her injury status, and she hopes to be back in the ring soon. It's been almost the entire year and WWE fans haven't been blessed with Nikita Lyons' presence on NXT yet. This has led some to theorize that she may just receive a main roster call-up when it's time for her to make that comeback. Ringside News reached out to ask about Nikita Lyons, and we were informed by a tenured member of the creative team that she is currently injured. That's all that's known about her. At this time, there are no discussions for her to make a jump to Raw or SmackDown, because she is unable to compete. Nikita Lyons has not been a stranger backstage in NXT. She's been around the Performance Center as well, as she continues rehabbing her injury. Her return is going to happen, but it doesn't appear that they are rushing things. We will have to see when Nikita Lyons returns to WWE television. She has all the tools to do big things in the company, but she will need to stay off the injured list, so she can achieve her full potential. What's your take on Nikita Lyons in WWE? Does she have what it takes to become a major superstar on the main roster? The final story is about WWE Crown Jewel will see LA Knight battle Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia for the undisputed Universal title on November 4th. That will be a huge match for the Tribal Chief, because it will also mark his final outing in the Squared Circle this year. Roman Reigns' plans are treated as very special within WWE. Only a select number of people know what is going on, and that formula has worked so far. His unbeatable title reign transitioned into an ultimate part-timer schedule. Now, it appears that fans only have one more opportunity to watch him wrestle this year. Ringside News was told by a tenured member of the creative team that, unless something changes, Crown Jewel on November 4th will be the last time Roman Reigns will wrestle in 2023. He has one match against LA Knight, and he won't wrestle again until 2024. Roman Reigns' next match was not confirmed, but it's plausible to assume that he will have a match at the 2024 Royal Rumble event at Tropicana Field. This part-time schedule for Roman Reigns also goes hand in hand with the special care his creative is given. usual WWE creative team is not handling Roman Reigns' creative direction. His angles are driven by Roman and Heyman, just like Brock Lesnar's creative was driven by Brock and Heyman. It was also noted that Michael Hayes is in the loop. The only reason he's so far ahead of everyone else is because, much like Heyman was with Brock Lesnar or Heyman was with Ronda Rousey, the best creative person in the business is working with him. In the beginning of Roman Reigns' run in WWE, we were told that Michael Hayes, Paul Heyman, Triple H, and Vince McMahon were involved with the finishes for his matches. This information is very close to the vest, and that explains why practically every one of Roman Reigns' matches are sellouts at the monitors backstage. Only time will tell how many times Roman Reigns will wrestle in 2024. Counting the LA Knight match at Crown Jewel, the head of the table only has 11 matches for 2023. Hopefully, Crown Jewel will be a good one to close out the year for Roman Reigns. What's your take on Roman Reigns? Thanks guys, and please subscribe.